I'm Daniel Berlant in the Cal Fire Information Center with the fire situation report for Friday, August 28th, 2020. Overnight, firefighters continue to experience fire activity on a number of the fires, especially those over the elevation of 2,000 feet. That's because below 2,000 feet, specifically along the coast, we did see a marine layer come in last night. That brought some cooler temperatures, a little bit of higher humidity that aided firefighters. But at those higher elevations, we still saw fire activity, and that's because of the warm and drying trend that we are continuing to see. I'll have more on that in a second here. Let's look, though, at our statewide fire map. Here you can see the nearly 24 major large wildfires that are still burning. However, this doesn't even show the nearly 730 fires that we have responded to since the beginning of this fire siege, which was August 15th. But we are making continued progress on a number of fronts. Here we are in Butte County, up in the Red Bluff area. These are the Butte Tehama Glen complex. And in this fire, they have now been able to bring containment up to 30% on this series of fires. Down south, though, this is the larger one. This is the LNU Lightning Complex. It has now burned over 370,000 acres. As of today, it is 35% contained. A lot of that fire activity continues to be right here on this eastern border of Lake Berryessa. You can see the fire has burned right around the lake, except for this section here. So while it's inside the perimeter, a lot of activity occurring there. And even up here in the Capay Valley, we've had some fire activity along Highway 16 in the Rumsey Canyon area. So parts of this northern edge, the center section, and even parts here of the lower western side are still a main focus. However, evacuations in the Napa area were downgraded yesterday. So we are making good progress on a number of fronts. Again, this complex, over 370,000 acres, 35% contained. If we scroll down to the SCU Lightning Complex, almost 373,000 acres have burned here. This fire, as of today, 35% contained. Firefighters continuing to make good progress on this fire. Some of the evacuations, specifically in Stanislaus County yesterday, were lifted. So good progress being made here. Today, the SCU Lightning Complex is now the second largest wildfire complex in our state's history. The LNU Lightning Complex today, number 3. And let's go over to the Santa Cruz Mountains, where we have the CZU Lightning Complex. Firefighters continue to see active fire up there, especially up in the mountains here, where we have really dry and thick vegetation at the higher elevation. This fire, over 82,000 acres. It is 26% contained, so crews are making progress, but again, still a challenging firefight for sure. And then if we scroll down into the Monterey area, just south of Salinas, here is the River Fire, 48,000 acres, 732% contained, 48,000 plus acres, it is 66% contained. And just to the south of it is the Carmel Fire. It's been holding at just over 6,700 acres. Today, it is 71% contained. So again, continued progress. I want to go over to Tuolumne County. We haven't covered some of these fires that are burning along the central Sierra, but here is the Mock Fire. We'll zoom in. It's burned 2,800 acres, but this is one of those that had forced some evacuations near Don Pedro Reservoir. But as of today, the Mock Fire is now 90% contained. So crews are making good progress, not only on the Mock Fire, but on several of the others, including the fires burning down in the Los Angeles and Riverside County areas, the Apple Fire, the Lake Fire. So as progress is made on some of these other fires, and as the containment efforts and numbers go up, we're able to release some of those firefighters, not only back to their home stations, back to their home cities, to get some rest and be released, but also we're releasing some of the other state resources to get a little bit of rest and then be ready for new fires or reassignment on some of the other fires. So as of today, we still have over 14,600 firefighters, but we have started to see a decrease in the peak number of firefighters assigned to these fires just with that progress from some of these Southern California fires. In total, though, on these siege fires, over 1.3 million acres have burned. There are still evacuations in effect for over 83,000 2,000 people. So there are still a large number of evacuations that remain in effect. Let's talk a little bit about the weather. First off, here's our high temperatures for today. It's not going to be too bad, but we are starting the last couple days to see a warming trend. 97 degrees in Sacramento. Tomorrow it's actually going to be in the mid-90s through much of the areas along the coast. Going to go up into the high 60s and even to the high 70s by the early part of next week. So we are going to start to see conditions warm and dry for the next several days. Now we do have some thunderstorms possible, especially along the Sierra here. For the afternoons, likely to see potential thunderstorms with very little rainfall, so that could lead to some additional lightning-sparked fires. In fact, overnight we did see some thunderstorm systems create about almost 100 strikes, but only one fire so far reported out of those. Now, firefighters will be continuing to monitor those lightning strikes for the potential of additional fires. But again, 100 strikes or so last night. Still today, this afternoon, there is still a potential for more thunderstorm systems along the Sierra, all the way down into Mono County. Our weather pattern is changing, as I mentioned. We are going to start to see a warm and drying trend. You can see the storm track that has been pushing through. That is bringing now warm and dry conditions through next week. So we could see afternoon winds, even some Delta breeze coming in for the Sacramento Valley area. Obviously, the Delta breeze in the evenings brings often cooler temperatures, but it is gusty. That could hamper efforts and it could fan fires. So stay tuned for more. We'll continue to monitor this, but again, warm and dry conditions continuing to take effect across California. So with the weekend coming up, let's talk about what you can do to ensure you are doing your part to prevent sparking fires. This is our Ready for Wildfire website under our Prevent Wildfire section. And so we want to talk about one less spark, one less wildfire. That's our educational message and campaign to help reduce human-caused fires. Most of the fires we respond to, in fact, 95% of all wildfires that CAL FIRE responds to are caused by the activity of people. That could be through negligence, that could be accidental, or that could be arson. But it's those negligence, that accidental fires that we really need your help with this weekend. Here are some tips, and here are some of the common causes of those wildfires. First, equipment use, using tractors, lawnmowers, weed eaters, any powered equipment. If you're using it either the wrong way or at the wrong time. In fact, a riding lawnmower is meant for manicured green grass. That's okay. But if you're going to use it to cut down dry grass, that metal blade from that lawnmower on a rock could actually spark a wildfire. So make sure you're doing all of your powered equipment use in the early mornings, not at the heat of the day, and definitely not if it is windy. Debris burning in most areas is across California banned in the middle of fire season. So please do not burn any vegetation or debris. Vehicle use. Don't pull your vehicle over in dry grass. Make sure your vehicle is well maintained, including ensuring your tires are well inflated, that nothing is dragging from the vehicle itself. If you're going out camping this weekend, it's going to be a beautiful weekend for that. If you're taking, of course, COVID-19 precautions and trying to get out to some isolation, ensure that you have a campfire permit and ensure that campfires are even allowed in the area you're going. In many areas, campfires are restricted. Even target shooting for those in some of the more rural areas, target shooting can have some dangers. So we have a whole section here that provides more information on how you can do your target shooting safely. So again, this is on our website, readyforwildfire.org. Click on the Prevent Wildfire section. So that's the latest on the fires burning in California and what you can do to stay safe this weekend. So for now, have a fire-safe weekend, everybody.